New death battle just dropped. New death battle just dropped. We have the greatest second main character, whatever the term is, derogative, whatever. We got the greatest, aside from Vegeta, ever, Katsuki Bakugo. My GOAT. Not really my GOAT. Izuku Midoriya is my GOAT. But we have my second GOAT, whatever you want to call it. Fucking focus, bitch. Damn. Versus Reze. Now, I will admit, I did not watch the Chainsaw Man movie. I haven't seen the Chainsaw Man movie. So I don't know what she's capable of. Off the rip, I'm betting my whole house. I'm betting my penis. I'm betting my toes, my butt, my eyes, whatever. I'm betting everything on Bakugo. So if he loses and y'all don't see me for a while, just know I gave everything up. All right. But yeah, we're gonna get to it. No, I'm not gonna waste no more time. We're gonna get to it. Reze, Bakugo versus Reze, death battle. Like I said, my money is on Bakugo. I just don't see any. I don't see how she can hang. She can't hang. I don't think she can hang with my nigga. I just get it. 3. Hold on, my shit. I can't hide this shit. I can't hide this shit. Hold on. Fuck it. Let's move this hoe. We're gonna move this hoe over here. 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. Fucking ads. Like I said, I would never, ever pay for YouTube bread. They got to give me that shit for free, bruh. Turn this shit down a little bit. That shit was loud as hell.
Well, look who's here.
Hope I'm big enough. I'm already glazing. That shit look clean as hell. Hello,
Bakugo versus Reze.
I want to move over here.
The god of explosions versus the bomb devil. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to analyze their...
I got explosion, murder. Fuck, dynamite. I got fucking dynamite, all right?
weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
I'm excited!
Ah, Wiz, there's nothing like the smell of napalm in the morning, the rush of the shockwave, the flash of combustion. I love it when stuff goes boom.
And no one knows that feeling better than Katsuki Bakugo.
When your name literally means powerful bomb, it's no wonder he was born with the quirk, Explosion. It lets Bakugo create humongous kabooms from his palms. I could only dream of having hands that rad.
Quirks are genetic superpowers that most humans are born with. Bakugo inherited his quirk from his parents. Specifically,
Hold on, analyze.
Bakugo inherited his quirk from his parents.
I'm a bad reactor.
Superpower.
Alright, name Katsuki Bakugo, 5'8", little ass nigga. He's still taller than me though. Birthday 420. You feel me? 5th ranked pro hero. Quirk Explosion. Alias Bombshell Hero. Great Explosion Murder God Dynamite. Likes winning, blowing stuff up, and Kirishima. Pause.
Powers that most humans are born with. Bakugo inherited his quirk from his parents. Specifically, it was a combination of his father's combustible acid sweat and his mother's glycerin skin secretions.
Making Bakugo sweat basically like nitroglycerin. And the more he sweats, the bigger the booms. His parents basically made the perfect kid, absolutely oozing with shonen main character energy.
Bakugo felt similarly, so much so that he started bullying his childhood friend who happened to be born without a quirk.
Yeah, okay, he's kind of a snot-nosed turd sometimes, but come on, Wiz, the kabooms! There's
just so much ore, bro. Just look at that's just ore, bro. I'm glazing. I'm gonna stop glazing.
so cool.
Quirks are a natural biological feature of a person's body. In the same way that we don't really think about walking or breathing, Bakugo's explosions became like any other limb, especially with his rigorous training.
Bakugo quickly picked up on how to use his explosions to obliterate anything in sight, block attacks, launch himself around, and quickly maneuver in midair at hypersonic speeds, which requires a ton of focus and on-the-fly calculations.
And despite getting this incredibly dangerous quirk when he was 4, he somehow never killed himself or anyone else that we know of. Bakugo was truly a prodigy, destined for greatness.
And his only goal was to surpass Japan's numero uno superhero and his personal idol, All Might. In Bakugo's mind, the only person who wins no matter what. Absolute victory. No problem for the main character.
Except Katsuki wasn't the protagonist that he thought he was. That would be Izuku Midoriya, the quirkless child Bakugo bullied. In truth, he was threatened by Izuku's tenacity despite being quirkless.
He had to come to terms with that weakness, bro. He had to come to terms with that weakness. I fuck with Bakugo. People that don't like Bakugo, I can't respect you. Like if you don't fuck with Bakugo, you don't fuck with me. You feel me? Yeah.
Really? That crybaby's the main character? Well, Bakugo's inferiority complex would only get worse when Deku somehow landed a quirk that was just as cool, and both were accepted to the same superhero high school, UA High.
There, he would learn to be a superhero.
Quirk explosion. We already know what it is. I'm gonna read it though. I'm in the way, but it says quirk explosion. Nitroglycerin like sweat. Quirk factors and palms can be detonated remotely. Support gear. Grenader. That sounds racist. Grenader bracers. Grenades. Suppressive heavy mobile unit. Strafe panzer. Ultimate moves. Turbo speed. Stun grenade. Explodapult. Even though it's called X catapult. Armor piercing shot. Howitzer impact. And then cluster.
And fully developed.
Cluster is so amazing.
His ultimate moves.
Like flying through the sky faster than sound with turbo speed, blinding people with stun grenade, focusing his blasts into armor-piercing shots, or making a big-ass tornado of death.
The howitzer impact involves Bakugo spinning himself in midair with his explosions, building up a tremendous amount of swirling oxygen, and then igniting it all for one hell of a boom.
He's pretty smart when it comes to strategizing mid-fight. He even developed new techniques for his quirk faster than Deku did.
UA High also aided Bakugo's development by preparing him with his iconic Grenadier bracers, gauntlets that allow him to store up his sweat, gross, for prolonged bouts, or to release all of it at once in a single massive blast.
He's also got his hero suit, which helps him sweat faster in order to build up stronger attacks. Or the Strafe Panzer, these badass turrets mounted to his back that store his sweat as ammo. With all of that, it wasn't long before Bakugo made his hero debut, called the Bombshell Hero, Great Explosion Murder God, Dynamite. Hey, I dig it. The more colons, the merrier.
But despite some
I wish we got more Strafe Panzer, bro. Like that whole they hold that bitch, I ain't gonna lie. They hold the shot of that hub.
early wins, Bakugo failed to live up to his own sky-high expectations. He had the makings of a great hero, if only he could get out of his own way and put the team before his ego.
Especially when he was kidnapped by the League of Villains, ultimately leading Bakugo to blame himself for All Might's retirement. Something needed to change.
So he vented his frustrations in a slugfest with Deku and realized something crucial. That the kind of absolute victory that defined All Might wasn't victory for himself, but victory for everyone.
He was starting to become the prodigy.
Like I said, he had to come to terms with that weakness, bro. He had to realize I'm not the guy. At least I'm not the guy alone. You feel me?
Everyone knew he could be. I mean, hell, even while he was unconscious, he kept analyzing the fight he was in and coming up with counters. Somehow,
Bakugo's powerful enough to shatter Todoroki's heaven-piercing ice wall, fast enough to keep up with villains like Shigaraki, who can catch light beams, and tough enough to survive, well,
being dead? Yep, you heard us. Bakugo was killed, dead as a doornail. And then a single bead of sweat floating through his bloodstream detonated and restarted his heart. If that isn't main character plot armor.
Man, season 8 was so great. While Edgeshot was able to stitch Bakugo's injured organs back together, it was explicitly Bakugo's miniature explosions that restarted his heart and revived him. Obviously, look at that, bro. That's aura. That's off the wake up. Bro was dead. He got murked. Your favorite main character, man. He's not my favorite main character, but you get the point.
What is?
His stamina is perhaps the craziest thing about him. After all, he is tanking the recoil of all of his explosions.
Even with the overuse of his blasts literally tearing his body apart, he kept trying to make him stronger, and eventually his quirk awakened.
Essentially, when a quirk evolves to become stronger. Now, by condensing his explosions into smaller and more powerful clusters, Bakugo could enhance all of his techniques.
Like the Howitzer Impact Cluster, a stunning achievement in the field of explosionology, or kaboom theory for the layman.
Powerful enough to shatter the side of a mountain, or blow apart UA itself. Judging by the school's size, we can estimate Bakugo's Howitzer Impact Cluster yielded over 300 kilotons of TNT.
Given Bakugo's whole deal is explosions, it makes sense to science out what a ton of TNT actually is. It's literally the energy contained in 1,000 kilograms of trinitrotoluene.
A chemical compound composed of hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon.
That's
Like, imagine being able to do all that, bro. I ain't gonna lie, if I had a quirk, I don't know. I'd be the worst person ever to give a quirk to.
kabooms. Now, imagine a pile of TNT as big as the Empire State Building blowing up all at once. That's Bakugo's Howitzer Impact Cluster.
And these explosions can launch him so fast, it's like time stands still around him.
Like when he covered a huge part of this city in a fraction of a second, almost 400 times the speed of sound.
And that's not all. Now he can detonate his sweat remotely and from all over his body, not just his palms.
With all of this crazy bullshit,
Blew up a mountainside, vaporized Wolfram's giant metal cubes, outsped Tokyo's dark shadow, destroyed Uraraka's meteor shower, moved 300,000 miles per hour, displaced the airborne UA High, helped defeat Nine while sharing One for All, defeated Deku, Kirishima, Todoroki, separated the twins, and All for One. Like, bro, that fight, All for One versus Bakugo, one of the best anime fights I've seen in my lifetime. Off the wake up, off being dead. Walk that bitch ass nigga All for One down. Walked his ass the fuck down and didn't give no fuck about
Bakugo
it.
became one of the strongest heroes on Earth.
Didn't give a fuck if that nigga was a baby. Blew the fucking baby up, nigga.
Enough to battle and defeat All Might's lifelong arch nemesis, All for One. Yeah, that's right, the main villain. Who's the protagonist now, Deku?
Bakugo literally and figuratively surpassed his childhood idol and proved his mettle as a hero.
Number 5 on the rankings and rising. Not bad, Kachan.
But more important than proving
Kachan.
it to his friends, to All Might, or even to Deku, he proved it to himself.
Look at that smile, bro. It's so cute, man. Such heartwarming smile, bro. So cute, bro. Fuck you talking about?
Yeah, whatever. Take that, losers! Sickest quirk in the world over here! Dynamite! Dynamite! Dynamite!
Alright. I was about to go for the getting the Reze. Like I said, I didn't watch the Chainsaw Man movie. Fake anime fan, I know. But yeah, let's get it.
Wiz, what happened to you? You look funny.
Sorry,
and
guys.
squishy.
Right.
Oh, like the one that
Mine's
arms.
Oh, and if
Awesome.
click the link available, death. Won't miss out.
Love you guys, but you gotta get to the video. You feel me?
Death, war, famine, conquest. Humanity has been plagued by all manner of ills since they first crawled out of the primordial ooze. In the world of Chainsaw Man, there is nothing to fear but fear itself.
Because fear itself is real, and they're called devils.
Literally devils from hell. These monstrous beings are the living embodiments of humanity's worst nightmare.
I fuck with Chainsaw Man though. Don't get me wrong. I fuck with Chainsaw Man. Like I said, don't get me wrong, but like, I wish they would. Everything's gonna be a movie now, bro. Like Demon Slayer, they dragging that shit the fuck out. I don't think the anime's ever coming back. They make too much money for movies, bro. Like Demon Slayer ruined it. Demon Slayer ruined the market, bro.
and their power is directly proportional to that fear.
So the chicken devil might be so weak you could keep him as a class pet, like, you know, a chicken. But what about the bat devil, or the ghost devil, or the devil embodying man's fears of one of the greatest weapons it's ever created, the bomb devil?
Playing on
These ads.
phone? Now you can play Unlocked on PC with Google Play Games.
Little is known about the origins of the Bomb Devil's current host, Reze, if that even is her real name.
She might look cute and kawaii, but she's actually a Soviet assassin.
All right. Bomb Devil hybrid. Height around 5'5". Age unknown. Country origin Soviet Union. Occupation super soldier. Bilingual Russian and Japanese. At one point, the author's favorite character. Likes coffees, flour, dingy, sort of.
Trained from birth to be one of the deadliest killers on the planet.
I heard she bad though.
Basically a Black Widow. A cold and lonely existence for anyone, but quadruply so in a world as effed up as this.
But all Reze wanted was a safe, normal, quiet life. As much a fable to her as Aesop's country mouse.
Too bad! You are now a walking,
Ew.
talking explosive. Have fun.
At some point,
Boom. Ooh.
the girl
Okay,
known as
okay.
Reze was implanted with a fragment of the Bomb Devil and became a hybrid. A human possessing a devil's powers without sacrificing their humanity, transforming their body into a living weapon.
As a hybrid,
Damn.
Reze's strength and speed are way crazier than a normal human's. And with her martial arts training, she's a force to be reckoned with up close. Also, Wiz, check out the bomb for a head.
Someone like Reze would eat you alive, literally. Should
Shit.
devils like Reze take any damage whatsoever, they can heal by consuming blood.
And that lets hybrids survive some pretty insane stuff, like having their limbs torn off, getting bisected clean in half, or being roasted alive. Just slurp some blood and they're good as new.
Especially useful considering the Bomb Devil's primary ability is literally blowing herself up. Reze can emit explosions from
Damn. Still got Bakugo though. Okay. Super strength, speed, durability, regeneration, blood drinking, explosion, long range, self detonation, sparks, propulsive, weapon transformation, torpedoes, dynamite, missiles, hand to hand combat.
any surface of her
Abilities.
body,
These are her
even
abilities.
tearing off limbs and turning them into bombs that she can detonate at will.
Damn, that's
I
hardcore.
ain't gonna lie, that's kind of sick.
I
I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of sick, bro.
These blasts to jet through the sky
Imagine being able to tear your head off and just turn it to a
at
bomb.
hypersonic speeds, maneuver and redirect herself in midair, and enhance the strength and speed of her blows.
Or Reze can send sparks that can ignite the atmosphere in explosions that tear apart entire cities. Making herself stronger, the more fear her wanton destruction creates.
As long as the area around her is dry enough to maintain ignition,
She's a fraud. These are humans, bro. Why they still alive?
And destruction creates.
Just saying, Bakugo to murk them niggas.
As long as the area around
Just
her
saying.
is dry enough to maintain ignition, Reze can create as many explosions as she wants, non-stop.
She can even turn her own body into different types
Humanity's fear here is not only has their explosive power, but her physical power as well. She's able to shrug off an attack from the violence fiend who specializes in physical.
of real-world bombs to massively enhance their power.
Like transforming her leg into a torpedo or her apron into dynamite. Every single inch of Reze is a living weapon.
This made her feared across the devil
That's hard.
world as one of their mightiest warriors, and the perfect choice to assassinate Japan's newly acquired devil hybrid, Chainsaw Man.
You see, you might not think chainsaws are all that scary, at least not compared to bombs, but the Chainsaw Devil is special.
Any devil the Chainsaw Devil consumes becomes deleted from reality, retroactively
shit.
erased from humanity's collective consciousness.
And here I thought chainsaws were for boring stuff like trees or Texas massacres. Silly me.
This ability makes the Chainsaw Devil the most important being alive and invaluable for any global power to control.
Damn, I did not read into that shit.
Except instead of meeting the fearsome chainsaw of legend, Reze met Denji, a dumb, horny teenage boy just looking for someone, anyone, to love.
And for once, Reze actually hesitated. Rather than immediately kill her target, she got to know him and found they weren't so different. Both were used as tools of the state, as weapons of war rather than people. A kindred spirit in a hostile world, Denji wanted to drink up as much of the excitement of life as he could. The town mouse to her country mouse.
And thankfully,
That's sweet.
He was super easy for a pretty face to manipulate.
It wouldn't be the only time.
Reze's nothing if not professional, and she gave Denji one parting gift. To teach him the way devils did battle before he died.
As the embodiment of one of the deadliest weapons known to man, Reze's power is off the charts, capable of creating an explosion more than 400 meters in diameter. That's over 4 football fields long.
To have a blast
She.
that size, you'd need to be exploding with over 2 kilotons of TNT.
More than comparable to nuclear weapons, which is really impressive considering Reze is not the devil of nuclear bombs. That's apparently an entirely separate thing.
Despite her bombs being technically conventional, they're just that strong.
Likely comparable to other powerful devils like the Gun Devil, who could travel across the world and kill millions of people in 5 minutes.
That'd be over 500 times the speed of sound.
She's even stronger than the Typhoon Devil, a sentient city-spanning storm.
Damn.
The literal coughing baby to her hydrogen bomb.
They did it. They said it, bruh.
Fortunately for Reze,
Fought evenly with Chainsaw Man, Explosion clips most of Tokyo. Could a devil hunter bare-handed? Can fight while headless. Survive losing various limbs. Blitz Denji several times. Feared by the Typhoon Devil, Fox Devil, and Violence Fiend. Defeated Nomo, Kato, Beam, and much of Devil Hunter Special Division 2.
Denji took her lessons to heart and proved he was more than a fitting host for the Chainsaw Devil.
He whooped her ass, but spared her life. Just in case her seduction wasn't a total act after all.
But it wasn't meant to be. Whether Reze chose the safe life of the country mouse or the exciting life of the town mouse, there are hungry cats everywhere.
Oh,
Fuck this bitch, bro.
Makima, what I
Fuck Makima, bro.
would give to find someone to kill you.
Reze's dreams of freedom were never realized. She simply changed hands from one cold, unfeeling entity to another. And this time, there was no escape. She was a weapon, a symbol of man's bottomless capacity for malice and self-destruction.
A living bomb.
Fuck Makima, bro. She got me fucked up. Fuck that bitch.
The battle's about to start, and I hope you've got something good to hear these kabooms with, like our sponsor, Raycon.
That's
Yep,
right.
yep, yep.
Oh,
Gotcha,
sure.
gotcha.
Thanks.
By open set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Like I said, bro. Hold on. Alright, before you get started, like I said, I bet everything. I bet everything I own, my life. I bet everything on Katsuki Bakugo. I could never go against the GOAT, bro. I just don't think Reze, like I said, as you can see, I just don't think Reze has the firepower. As you can see in the back. Hold on, let me go full screen real quick. Damn, let me go full screen real quick. You feel me? In the back. You feel me? All that. I don't think Reze has the firepower, bro. I just don't think she has the firepower to hang with him. Alright, we're gonna get it. 3, 2, 1, death battle. Start. Fuck these ads!
Title fights. UFC Gold will hang.
That do not sound like, bro. That do not sound like Katsuki. Hold up. I need to hear them talk.
Sent to collect your head, Dynamite.
Better villains than you have tried, lady. You tell your bosses that after I send you back in a coffin!
The hell? That do not sound like that nigga, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
How would I tell them that if I was already dead? Wow, you're quick.
Shut up and die! Oh, damn!
The fuck is up with this animation? What? Hey, bro, what the fuck is up with this animation, bro?
Oh, damn! people!
Save me, Dynamite!
Let go of me!
Boom.
Leave them out of this!
See, that's why he's a hero to the very end, bro. Come on, Bakugo! Lock in!
For what it's worth, Dynamite, your blood was delicious.
You bit off a bit more than you could chew! My blood isn't the only thing you drank! It's my sweat you should worry about, dumbass! I'm aiming for absolute victory! Howitzer! Impact! Cluster! Scratch that. Not enough for a coffin.
Bitch! Hold on. I'm gonna wait till after the video. Hold on. Let's finish this.
KO! Oh, Denji, we're so sorry to hear about your girlfriend that passed away. She gets 5 big booms. Boom! Boom!
Please just shut up. On the surface, these two seemed evenly matched. So let's break this fight down into 3 categories: their speed, their stamina, and their firepower.
First up, let's talk speed.
Both Bakugo and Reze could rocket through the sky at hypersonic speeds and maneuver and redirect themselves on a dime in the middle of fights. To the casual observer,
Yo, break it down,
they
break it
seem
down.
to be on par with each other.
So we have to look at the people they've fought to compare.
Reze has battled Chainsaw Man, who could match and defeat someone using the Gun Devil's power.
The same gun devil that could literally fly around the world, killing millions of people at over 500 times the speed of sound.
Impressive, but compare that to Bakugo fighting Shigaraki, who could react fast enough to catch light beams with his bare hands.
That's over 1,000 times faster. And that was before Bakugo's quirk awakening that made him even faster than that.
With reaction speed of that caliber, there's little chance Reze could ever get the drop on Bakugo, and would likely be forced to play catch-up in a duel. Speed goes to Bakugo.
Okay.
However, speed doesn't matter if one couldn't truly hurt the other. A big part of this fight is their stamina.
Bakugo's durability is mind-boggling. He's survived being impaled through the torso and has even brought himself back to life.
But, unlike Reze, his stamina does eventually hit a limit. Every explosion he makes whittles him down just a little bit more and uses up more and more of his sweat. Without a break, he can eventually run out.
Whereas Reze can effectively create bombs without respite and from a distance.
Unlike Bakugo, who usually likes to get up close and personal.
Furthermore, her devil hybrid physiology gives her an actual regenerative healing factor, allowing her to shrug off the same kind of mortal blows that would eventually kill Bakugo, main character plot armor or not.
If this ever became a war of attrition, Reze had it in the bag. Stamina goes to Reze.
However, it's unlikely it would ever get to that point. The biggest factor in this fight was always going to be their raw firepower.
Explosions! First, we gotta compare their 2 biggest blasts. Reze's nuclear light bomb against Denji versus Bakugo's howitzer impact cluster.
And the difference is obvious. Based on calculating their sizes, Bakugo's 300 kiloton explosion was over 100 times more powerful than Reze's 2 kiloton blast.
But that's not all. Remember the Typhoon Devil.
Coughing baby or not, to create a storm big enough to cover Tokyo's over 2,000 square kilometers, he'd have to be generating more than 400 kilotons of TNT.
Greater than Bakugo, right? But that's not all. Again, Bakugo's howitzer impact once shattered the size of this big-ass mountain. And despite being earlier on in the series, it was ginormous. Almost 3 kilometers in radius.
Or just over 2 megatons of TNT. 5 times more powerful than the Typhoon Devil, and way beyond anything we've seen Reze do.
And this was Bakugo before reaching his full power in his fight against All for One. Bakugo takes the final edge in explosions.
And remember, Bakugo withstands the recoil of all his blasts. So even though Reze had greater stamina, Bakugo was more than tough enough to hang on and get his kill shot, especially with his superior speed.
And Devil healing factors can be overtaxed with enough damage. Hell, she needed to drink blood a couple times against Denji just to keep fighting.
Against someone as fast and powerful as Bakugo, she would not get the chance to heal consistently, or perhaps at all.
And what happens when devils die? They Bakugo to hell.
Bars.
The winner is Katsuki Bakugo.
Bombshell, hero, great explosion, murder, god, dynamite. Next time on Death Battle.
Are these fighting cars, bro? This is Mega Mind versus Gru.
Subscribe and join as a member.
Hell no. These niggas are hilarious, bro. What you mean Mega Mind versus Gru in a death battle? Hell no. These niggas are funny. These niggas are funny. Mega Mind versus Gru. Boy. Hell nah. But yeah. Yeah, that's funny as shit. But if you're watching this on YouTube, appreciate you tuning in. My money was always on Bakugo. There was never a doubt in my mind that nigga was just he's Bakugo, bro. Plot armor. The plot armor demon. No. But even though I didn't watch the Chainsaw Man movie, I saw some things. I never thought she had the firepower, bro. I knew she didn't have the firepower to bang with that nigga. Any nigga that could bring himself back to life, bro. That's it. But we gonna dress. Hold on, But yeah, if you watch on YouTube, appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Appreciate you. Come back for more, I guess. Come back for more. Appreciate you guys. Ah!